It's Thursday. We're on a little bit earlier than we were last week because there's a very important debate I hear on tonight, but it doesn't affect me because, you know.
You got the amazing Trudeau over there.
Well, he's... I'm not going to comment on him, but
he's like the Bret Hart of Canada.
You know? That I'm done. What's going on? That's the most insulting thing you could have said. All right, Bret Hart is a Canadian legend.
So is Trudeau.
No,
yeah,
no. Maybe his father was. He's not.
Yes.
What's up, Kurt?
He's there for the people.
Oh, he's definitely there for the people. Kurt commented at like 4 o'clock when I put up this.
I want to say Kirk has to be just.
He is ready, without a doubt, every week.
Dedication, Kirk.
100%. Juan, how are you?
Kirk can be at work. He'd be like, "Hold on, boss." Time out first.
He takes his break when he sees that notification pop up. What's up, Tom? How are you?
Pure fandom.
Mr. Beefy.
Oh, this guy.
Mr. Beefy.
I'm talking now, so let me
talk to it.
With everybody saying,
spit on that thing.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
That's
I heard Mr. Beefy got a messed up crumb rind. I mean, my bad. I'm sorry. Big Eagle.
Whoa.
Big Eagle. I think he should ship it to me.
Yeah, you're talking about the wrong belt. Pods that rock. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
It's been a while.
Miguel, what's good?
I think everybody in Canada should name their son Justin.
That's a disgrace. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Oh my goodness.
Yo, man, you about to go on the scammers page, Ethan. Come on, man.
for not shipping.
You're shipping like Tony, dude. You're killing me. I keep checking the mailbox every day.
Well, you know the feeling then, Joe. I've been waiting for a package for a very, very long time from somebody else. So it is what it is. How is everybody doing?
Have you asked that person?
I made a comment, and he
recently
said 3-4 weeks ago. He said it would be in the mail on Tuesday.
You can't trust those like type of people, you know.
Especially
the way especially when you look like him.
Tuesday, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Jones, I say we say new number. Who's this for SummerSlam weekend?
I think you just sell his ticket. Let him find his own way.
I don't have his ticket.
Oh. Yeah. Well, then just don't meet up with him. Simple. Oh, my phone was dead or something like that.
I'm going to get him so drunk to have him FaceTime you at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Turn my phone off.
It's going to be problems.
Absolutely. It's bad enough, some of the TikToks that he sends me. So, oh my goodness. So, gentlemen,
what up, Justin?
It's a quick show tonight. We gotta get in and get out. AEW is cringe. Big Daddy Trips 619.
I guess that's where we're starting.
I guess that's where we are starting.
Wow.
The only reason AEW bounced back this week is because of one man, or should I say, actually 4 pillars. The fact that the Big Bang Theory was on again prior to Dynamite is the only reason why they hit 680,000. Because the week before they were lucky to hit 500 on average. Without Sheldon Cooper, AEW cannot draw more than 600,000 people per week. I can't sit through an episode anymore.
I'm going to say this. The biggest star in AEW is fighting Daniel Garcia.
And that's that was the opening segment.
At All In? We're booking that far?
That's what they were saying. Mirabito seems to think that's not the case. I think that's what he's hoping for because he's got his plane ticket ready. But
that's like bringing Roman Reigns back, and his first match is against Austin Theory.
Is there anybody lower than Austin Theory?
That can be in a segment that'll probably happen in 2 weeks.
I mean, in AEW, you could do worse. You could do Ricky Starks. That's worse. With that man's attitude, turning down all this creative.
I'm
glad
turned down everything.
Yeah,
they offered.
But there's a
free
big
Ricky Starks.
Free him now.
Yeah, free him so he can go back on the indies where he belongs.
He'll go to NXT and he'll be
no.
He'll be a star.
I hope he jobs like Lexus King.
Alexis King is used better in NXT than he ever was in AEW. The Varsity Blondes.
The team had potential. They just never did anything with it.
And where's Griff now? Where is Griff?
Catering.
Probably. If he still has a job.
Parking cars.
Actually, no. I think he got released as well.
I don't think so. I think he's still on. You'd have to double check there, Jones, but I think he's still.
Oh.
They don't have dark anymore or elevation or anything like that. So
Big Daddy Trips, man. Those are fighting words.
Wow. Yeah. I'm not even going to acknowledge that.
Yee.
Maybe he's on ROH.
Could be. I have no idea. But there's a big show this weekend. What is this? 12 matches, including their 0 hour. So you've got maybe 5 hours of AEW matches. I used to love Forbidden Door, but when you take all of the talent from New Japan, there's really no Forbidden Door.
Hold on. 3 matches on 0 hour?
Yeah. Yeah.
0 hour is approximately 1 hour, or is it they do multiple hours?
1 hour.
Is it this Sunday?
Yep.
It's this Sunday.
Well, they can't go Saturday. It's smart that they don't. They can't.
They can't, yeah. But still, this is... I have no interest. I don't think in...
Let me look at this.
Anyone.
Soraya is on the 0 hour.
Jones, I'm looking for... What's your thoughts on Forbidden Door? Because I can't even fake it till I make it.
I'm not interested in... Usually the Forbidden Door matches, I'm usually more generally interested in. This one, I can't think of one match where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to see this. It's just like, oh, maybe I'll see this.
5 hours. Have this in the background. Lucha Bros, finally making a Forbidden Door card. That's I think that's their first. It's the Forbidden Hole.
Were they blocked by the AAA CML thing, or
I don't think so.
Thing, or
I don't think
Roosh
so.
Was for the longest.
There's one of the matches on the card where both promotions are going. One of the many 6-man matches where there's CML versus AAA. So the ban must be over. I don't think I'm even going to watch it, to be frank. I'll catch the highlights. There's nothing that interests me. I don't think Ospreay is winning the title, even though he should, because Swerve is not a champion, but
they booked themselves into a corner with that one.
The second he won it. But that's that. And then when you've got this guy appearing on Fox and saying that over 500 million people attended 100 110 live AEW events. Just ladies and gentlemen watching, do the basic math, basic division. Take 500 million and divide it by 110. You get approximately 4.5 million people attending each event, according to Tony Khan's math.
Thinking he's maybe 500,000.
I hope was just an error on maybe the production, or maybe he misspoke, but that's
Yeah, 500,000 is perfect because that's 4,500 people per event.
Yeah,
Yep.
which is about.
which is still inflated because they don't have 4,500 people.
Whoa. Whoa. Please tell me you're not thinking that's a bad thing. Wrestle War 92 has the greatest War Games match of all time. Come on, just. This card is going to be forgotten. Okay. And I think Don Callis.
I think Dave Meltzer was
Osprey.
Tony Khan's math teacher, to be honest. It's
I trust that. Wow, if you're going to insult me, learn to spell, jackass.
Yeah.
he can watch, but he's not going to get the
No.
comments tonight. That's 2 now, but we're not going to let that ruin the show, because people obviously have nothing better to do with their time than to try and troll.
And if you're going to come with something, please come better than fried chicken and fat jokes to a black guy.
Man.
Using those kinds of
Wow.
stereotypes.
Grow up.
Well done there.
Like kindergarten, insults.
I mean, even kindergartens come up with something a little bit better than that, to be frank. But moving forward, gentlemen, the AEW's just in a very, very cold spot these days. I don't know how they're going to bounce back. I really don't. We'll see how Forbidden Door goes, but it doesn't interest me like it once was.
No.
Let's see how they do. I wish them well.
I
hope
do
it's their best pay-per-view ever, but I won't be watching live.
No, neither will
I'm
I.
treating AEW pay-per-views like in your house 95s
Jeez.
right now.
You know what? Before I would say you're not far off.
Go back and watch it later. I was like,
If you do a side by side, yeah, it's pretty close. And I think part of the reason why AEW is in such a funk right now is because WWE is so hot. SmackDown last week.
I wouldn't say that though.
What?
Look at it this way: WCW still found a way to be hot when WWE was still hot.
Well, when you've got guys like Cody Rhodes and CM Punk in the same segment, in the same ring, going against the Bloodline or the new Bloodline, that were their biggest draws before, I think that has a lot to do with it.
Some are good, Juan, but some are really bad. Just saying. I had them all on pay-per-view, on VHS, because I got free pay-per-view.
No, it's not the only reason, Tom, but at the same time, like there's nothing going. MJF last night looked mediocre. I have no interest in watching Daniel Garcia and MJF. Where does this go from there? Oh, please. Where does it go? Where does Garcia go from there? If he somehow beats MJF, and if they do that, that's just utter ridiculous.
What does it do for MJF if he beats
Nothing.
Garcia?
Nothing.
What does it do for Garcia? Are you going to put him in the world title picture?
Nope, he has to win an eliminator match still. He still has to pin the world champion.
I can't, man. I can't. And if that's all you've got, then
I would have put MJF against Samoa Joe. You lost the title to him.
Or anyone in the Undisputed Kingdom.
Yeah. Joe, go work for AW, please, and
I
help
don't.
book. Well, that's going to be the savior of AEW. Tony Khan praised Shane McMahon as a great wrestler and welcomes him. So
Shane's gonna show up and act like this is the last episode of Nitro. I bought AEW.
that might be the best thing to happen.
You may hit over 700,000 views if you get that.
Yeah.
You might, for the McMahon name alone.
Agree, Rick, man. I loved it better when it was on TV.
If you subscribe to that app, it's on there
Is it free?
with the subscription. Yeah.
Not paying a subscription to watch TNA.
One of the many, many subscriptions today. TNA needs to be on an actual channel.
Yeah. When TNA was on Spike, it was amazing.
Maybe AJ will show up in TNA and save them too.
Jeez.
Monday nights.
Monday nights on Spikes was abysmal.
That's when the other savior saved the company.
EC3, he's fine in NWA. His star power is gone.
Jones. Just admit Hogan made TNA relevant.
Most watched episode.
Hogan tried to kill TNA. And he was almost successful.
He gave them their highest ratings ever.
To this day, it's still the number one watched TNA episode.
One episode didn't translate for the amount of money he was paid.
That's true, but that's a common thing wherever Hogan goes. So, is there a timeline on when Omega comes back? Not with diverticulitis. Expect him to be out for quite some time.
I have an idea, but Joe's gonna hate it.
I think there's something up in Canada that's giving these people diverticulitis.
Why? Because Brock had it and now
Yes.
Kenny has it.
Omega, yeah.
Well,
Those
they're
are the
from
only
the
two
West
people-
Coast.
Those
They're
are the
from the
only
West
two.
Coast. They're not my people.
No,
They're
yeah.
more American than they are Canadian.
No, but they live in Canada.
You're gonna say Canada.
Okay. They live in Canada.
I hope Jeff Hardy is nowhere near the TNA championship.
I never seen anybody from the U.S. get
Diverticulitis. It's just a Canadian.
Something up there in their meat or something. I don't know.
You know who's gonna beat Moose? That's who's gonna beat Moose. It's happening, Joe.
And they might just do it because his contract might be up soon. So could be a quick little, hey, stick around.
I'm going to watch the greatest WWE pay-per-view ever tonight. Survivor Series 97. Jones, what were you going to say that you said I probably won't agree?
No, it's like it looks like they're leaning towards a Joe Hendry title.
Jones.
We're on the same wavelength.
Anybody want a SummerSlam ticket?
Wow.
So you're not going to see the slut. You're giving away Jones's. Oh my goodness. Yes, this is true.
If not longer.
If not longer.
Depends on the severity.
But WWE is looked at one of the comments here. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf. Jones, I know you've been waiting for this for a very, very long time.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Jacob Fatu, you've been waiting for his debut for quite some time.
Yes. Very, very long time. Long time coming, long time overdue. I'm thoroughly impressed with the fact he dropped 35 pounds before debuting.
He looked in great shape.
He's moving a little bit too fast now because he's probably not used to being that light, but he debuted great. It was like What was the old saying they used to say
Business
about
is
Bray
about to pick
Wyatt?
up.
About Bray Wyatt. Ferrari engine in a tank.
Oh yeah, when he was Husky Harris.
Husky.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're in my
Ferrari engine
opinion,
in an army tank or whatever it was.
yeah,
That sounds
like, he may be the best Samoan with athleticism outside of Umaga.
It'd be
He's
interesting
good
to
on the
see
mic as
how,
well.
because there was a lot of worry about him overshadowing Solo. Yeah,
He already did.
he did it the second he came out, and then destroyed everybody. Solo who? Joey, your thoughts?
I mean, he's been signed with them since April, so we were just waiting,
Yeah.
like just patiently waiting. When is he going to show up? Man, did he make an impact?
I'm interested in the bloodline more now than since Roman left. Now
See,
I'm
that boy got some air on that splash.
Yes.
oh man, the impact on Cody. And even
Like,
his
people are
thrust
thinking
kick,
like he broke Cody's ribs. Like,
he landed hard. He's
This just was crazy.
that's a debut. That's how you do a debut, and you make an impact for sure.
because his move is the splash, right? If I'm not mistaken, his finisher is a splash off top rope.
I believe so. Jones would know better than me.
Jake,
Jacobs.
it's the BME, the Alius. He has a variety of things he can do. He does a Rikishi driver, so
Because Tama's finisher was the RKO,
yeah.
and he had to switch that up.
I would probably give him the Rikishi driver.
It's impactful for
bad.
sure. Now, there's ways around this, right? We've seen that with the Usos showing up in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there is a lot of talk and speculation about Jacob Fatu not being able to be, let's say, at Money in the Bank, but we won't know for certain until the day of the event, because no one thought for the longest time that the Usos would be allowed to cross the border, and they showed up and shocked everybody. I think with that speculation and his past convictions, sure, people are thinking that, but if he does show up, yeah,
Different ball game to look at.
absolutely.
Tour, it's gonna be some craziness. I'll say. Plus, it also depends on how far back his conviction was.
That's right. I don't know when the last charge was, but if it was a number of years ago, he might have already gone through the steps and processes to cross the border, or it might already be kind of forgiven.
He should have hit the mighty moonsault on Cody.
They might take it from him because of Tiffy.
Interesting.
Because it's essentially the same move.
Yeah.
It'll like hers is pretty, but it's gonna look more impressive from a big man doing it.
Well, it's like when Breaker like leaped up on there and then did the why am I drawing a blank? The Frankensteiner.
Oh yeah.
Imagine Jacob Fatu versus Braun Breaker.
Oh my goodness. You'd have to put a cage around those two guys.
Don't threaten me with a good time, because I'm waiting for that. I want to see Jacob Fatu versus him, versus Kevin Owens, versus Gunther. I want to see him versus Obafemi. Just throw the gauntlet of big guys at him.
Here's the thing, what I'm thinking about for SummerSlam. I don't know if it happens now because of the tragic passing. But you could have Roman and the Usos versus Jacob Fatu Tama, and Tonga. 6-man, possibly.
Yeah.
Hey, Pods That Rock. Don't hate on Goldberg. Goldberg's a national treasure.
What about him?
He's a national treasure.
Goldberg?
Maybe you want to see Jacob Fatu versus Goldberg is what he says.
No, I don't. I don't want to see Goldberg. I don't want to see Jacob Fatu versus Goldberg. I don't want to see Jacob Fatu versus Brock Lesnar.
Fatu and Roman would be nice.
Yes, Fatu and Rumble, and Roman would be very good.
Good evening, humble.
They should call him the Tonga Jacob Fatu. You know, dad's a Tonga kid. You know, just.
There's a lot of dream matches that you can have with Jacob Fatu now that he's landed in WWE. And when Roman does come back, this bloodline story is going to take off to even greater heights.
See, like when Solo came in, I'm like, okay, Solo's going to be another Umaga, basically.
He's got the thumb taped up, right?
Then you look at Jacob. Jacob's like if you put Umaga and Roman Reigns in a pot, mixed it up, out comes Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know who was the last guy to have the caliber that Jacob Fatu has. He is a once in a so many generations talent. Like he is unbelievable. And now that he's on the big stage, Jones, you've been a big fan of MLW for a long time. Now the world is going to see what you have witnessed and watched for.
He might be okay. He was arrested when he was 18.
That was his last
He's
arrest.
32 now.
yeah, he's still a young guy.
He served his time already, so he might be all right.
He might actually be okay, which would be great for me since I am going to that terrible PLE, Joey. Money in the Bank in Toronto. I know it doesn't equal to SummerSlam. I never said it did, but you know, if Fatu shows up, I'll be a happy camper.
Possible.
So you've got the Bloodline, which has been the best story in WWE for the last 4 years. Still running wild. And then you've got, I don't even want to call him Bo Dallas. I'm only referring to him as Bo Dallas because that's what he's been known for. Right? But Bo Dallas is a really shitty gimmick that was coined for Taylor Rotunda. Mm-hmm. What did you guys think of?
He was good in NXT when he first was there. When him and Neville had their little feud.
However, I think that wasn't Bo Dallas speaking in that promo. I think that was the real life person having that conversation with himself and doing a lot of self-reflection after the loss of his brother. It's what the world is kind of talking about right now in WWE, probably more than anything. What are your guys' thoughts on that Bo Dallas promo? Uncle Howdy.
That almost broke me because that was pure emotion. Because it's like I understand I'm sure he's been hit with that question over and over again. Aren't you just explaining your brother's death? It was like, dang, let the man.
And you hear that kind of nonsense when you scroll on social media, right? You hear even with the lead up of the Wyatt 6 before they even debuted, oh, they're just going to ride the coattails of Bray.
This has semblances of Bray, but this is pure Taylor. I'm only calling him that because we know his real name. It was exposed. So the Rotundas, yes, but the on-air character, that, like you said, we believe that was Taylor's.
Yeah.
Like, sheesh. I'm interested because I want to see what they're going to do with it. They don't have to go the full spooky supernatural stuff, but if you're going to do that, protect them. Protect the gimmick at all costs.
Absolutely. And I
I
think
thought-
that's where. Sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I thought it was funny when they did the VHS tape.
They're like, where am I going to play this?
For the kids.
Yeah, you know, Michael Cole's like, oh, we were able to find a VCR. Like, oh, really? Where?
Well, you think about it. Think about how much of the audience has probably never inserted a VHS into a VCR in their life.
So
That's
you know,
mind blowing.
when you see the backstage, Uncle Howdy him interviewing, you know, Taylor Rotunda. The way he's speaking in that interview, it's like, I think it's what he's felt, like what he's wanted to really say because of everybody saying all this.
Yeah.
And it's like real emotion in real life. It's what's on his mind. He just let it out. And I thought that was like the truest passion. Because he's grieving and he probably sees all this.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, SOBs, I'm going to show you.
Exactly.
I'm going to, you know, you can doubt me all you want, but I'm going to do this. And when, I love when wrestlers put real emotion because it's real and you feel it. It brings you in as a fan. Some wrestling fans will say, you know, this is stupid. You know, you know, it could be if you're just a casual, but if you really know the whole story and what's going on, you're going to be sucked in. And we said it last week. I said it like, can they sustain this? You got to do something. They hit it out of the park again with this week. But what are they going to do next? The way Taylor was speaking, it's like, oh shit, he's coming. He's on a rampage. He's coming for blood.
Yeah. And like you said, Joe, he's not acting. This is coming from the heart. He lost his brother and it hurt him. And he feels that pain. He feels that grief. And he's sharing that with all of us. That's why, yeah, I didn't quite, you know, move myself to tears, but Jones, I was close too. Like I had goosebumps the entire time watching that. And at first, I will say that when I heard Uncle Howdy's voice, I was for a split second, a little skeptical just because of the effects that they layered on his voice. But then when I went back to Taylor and they had that dialogue and that back and forth, I completely, that thought left. And it was powerful. That was one of the most moving segments on WWE television in a very long time. It was raw. It was real. And like you said, Joe, like, what do they do next? I don't know, man. But like, we asked that same question last week when you and I were on, and they hit it out of the park, man. They really did. So I'm invested. I'm looking forward to this.
They can make an impact by not wrestling. And I think that's what's so good
That's the great
about
part.
WWE.
But I'm sure they
Their
will get
storylines.
to that point where they do wrestle. And when they do, I'm curious because now we've got a better sense of who Uncle Howdy is, right? Are we going to get the same kind of promos? Or are we going to dive deeper into the minds of the other characters in the Wyatt Six to get a sense of who they are? And are they going to strip down with their costumes, with their masks when they do step in the ring? It'll be interesting because we don't know what's happening next. We have all these ideas and we're thinking out loud, but we don't know. But we're invested.
I can't figure out which way they're going to do it either. But we do need to get some kind of information on their backgrounds. Were they puppets? Were they always real? Were they prisoners of the Firefly Funhouse? Like, where were they?
Did the puppets possess them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or did they? Or were their spirits trapped in the puppets?
Yeah, but there are so many different directions, like Mr. Beefy says, that they can go, and we have no idea, which makes it so much better. Because I don't want to be able to, like so often, we can predict what's going to happen next, and for years we've been able to predict what's going to happen next in so many different storylines. When wrestling becomes that predictable and it's just a repeat of the things that we've watched over the last 2-3 decades, it takes the fun out of it. I'm glad that we have no idea.
Agree. This is a spot we can't figure out what's going on. They got two different storylines like that. The bloodline, we really don't know what's going to happen.
No. And maybe they will cross paths at one point.
Ooh, like a la the Shield
And Wyatt, yeah,
Right.
family.
that was
Think
one of
about
the
it.
greatest feuds ever.
Wyatt 6 versus the Bloodline. You heard it here. It's gonna happen.
Shut
Give
up
like a
and
little
take my-
glimpse, like the bloodlines walk in, they see smoke, they just look back at it.
I think Jacob Fatu will just eat everybody no matter what. But there's no stopping him, supernatural or not. I think he's supernatural in many ways, but he's a werewolf, right?
It's gonna be like smoke. You threaten me with a good time.
But speaking of great feuds that are going on in WWE, I think that's a perfect moment to kind of talk a little bit about what happened on SmackDown as well with McIntyre and Punk.
Mm.
Did you guys see his TikTok, Drew's TikTok that he put out today? I'm not sure if the folks watching.
He's a psychopath.
We can swear on this show, right?
I swear we can.
Is it the one with him riding the bike?
Yeah, I do want it. It's a 2-minute clip, but I think it's worth.
It's so
Watch it.
great.
And here we are. In just over a week since Glasgow, I'm finally home. I should be champion, but I'm not. I'm just reflecting. Newton's third law: for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Drew's law: for every action, there will be a violent reaction like you've never seen, if you deserve it. CM Punk, let's go back to the press conference post-Clash at the Castle. Sat there and said, as long as I'm breathing, as long as I have breath in my lungs, I'll make sure Drew McIntyre is never world champion. Let's start there. Because what I did to him in SmackDown, I could have made that reality. It happened so easy. I could have squeezed all the air of his stupid little fragile body. But no, I'd be letting him off. He doesn't deserve the easy way out. I left just enough life in his body so he can watch me succeed as he lays there, as uncomfortable as humanly possible, as his wife feeds him through a straw. He took everything from me in Glasgow. Made it thought it'd be a genius idea to rub the salt in the wounds, sit there wearing green, making all those stupid comments. What have I ever deserved in this life for a dumb-headed fuck like CM Punk to go into business for himself? Now, Punk can pretend when pushed, he's Satan himself. When I'm pushed to this level, I'm a justified monster. Satan's my bitch, just like Phil. I mean, who can stop me? And I'm in the right. I'm the good guy here. Phil, you took my dreams. Now I'm the nightmare you're going to see every time you close those soulless eyes of yours. You might think you're Satan. When pushed, I'm a fucking psychopath. I hate you. I'm not sure I truly hated anyone in my entire life till you. But I can take solace in the fact you're in pain and you're suffering because of me. And my hate, it's all good. Because it dies with you.
And then showing the AJ and the Larry bracelet at the end. It's just the icing on the cake.
What I deserve for a little This is so great.
Dude, is there anyone better on social media than Drew McIntyre?
Nope.
Anytime he uploads a promo on CM Punk, on Twitter, on TikTok, on what you name the platform, he destroys him. And Joe, we talked about this a lot last week. They haven't even had a fucking match yet, bro. And it is one of the best things going.
He's going to be in the Money in the Bank match, right?
He's
He's in a qualifier this week.
He's in a qualifier, yeah, this coming week.
Punk's going to cost him that money.
If Punk comes out costs him the Money in the Bank, then my ticket was justified.
So great.
But it's incredible, man. For a guy that quit, right? The week before and then shows up on SmackDown in Chicago, destroys him, and then brings out the hero and drops him flat on his ass in front of the crowd. Dude.
My question is, I only have one issue with that whole thing, and I saw all that. We had this conversation before. For someone who quit, why was he so freely able to walk through the backstage carrying a signed talent on his shoulders without anyone stopping him? Like, I get it. He's a psychopath, and he's, 6'5", 6'4"? Like, I'm not really going to just randomly walk up to him and try to stop him. But on the same token, it's like, just going to let this happen?
Especially with the extra security that they had hired for
exactly.
anything that was potentially going to happen that night. But
Punk's going to push that ladder over on him. It's
You want Punk to die in Ohio.
just saying, it's so good. Punk's going to cost him. Or,
let's hear it, Joe. You've got what do you think?
Drew's reaching for the Money in the Bank briefcase, and it keeps getting higher and higher. And it shows Punk racing.
Just reeling it. Oh my gosh. If that happens, man, I'll mark out a little bit.
This is like,
see him push the button.
It's
like
gold, man. It's gold.
Over 7 month long feud.
Yeah.
And these two only interacted like in the Rumble. Like, it's just so great with these two.
Or you can do that. Well, here's the thing. You AEW marks, it's not copying what they're doing with Okada. I honestly feel sorry for Okada because now he's just a one-word trick pony.
He's a bumper sticker right now.
Everybody just wants him to say the word bitch.
Yeah.
That's all you get out of him. But I will admit the thing last week was funny.
It's probably their best use of Okada.
Oh no, I was the wrong button.
It was good.
Bitch.
A long way to go. We're spoiled. We're definitely spoiled right now with all the great stories that are happening right now. But this is why we love wrestling, for the storytelling.
I can't wait to see that match wherever it is.
This is almost at this point you have to. It's the first match in the feud, but it almost has to be a Hell in a Cell. Because you
take your fantasy book.
Yeah, I was going to say to get it out of here. Like Punk said to that reporter. Oh my goodness! But
you has to be like a cage match.
It's going to be like a no holds barred or like no.
There has to be a stipulation. It can't just be a normal exhibition match.
Let's say because
it's going to mean something. And title or no title, there has to be. This is a feud that's not just going to end after that one match either. This is long term.
This could go to a Survivor Series.
Yeah,
even longer.
It could, especially if one of them does walk out with the title in by the end of this year. They're going to revisit it, even if they pause for a little bit. I can definitely see Drew or Punk or both of them winning the World Heavyweight title.
Loser gets eaten by Jake Fatu.
Shit. Damn. Look in my eyes. What do you see? Jacob Fatu coming after you.
That's a scary sight.
Dude, the picture that I used for the thumbnail of him with it, like it, he's a scary guy. I'd be just terrified seeing him. But there's a lot to look forward to, and SmackDown is tomorrow. You've got Forbidden Door on Sunday, and then you've got Money in the Bank next weekend. Ayo.
Yo. Did you see her on social media?
Queen Thirst Trap.
She's doing it right. She's and her rival just got married the other day.
Yeah. That's
Mommy
going to be
is-
interesting to see if that comes on the air.
It's the only time AEW and WWE will ever have a union.
So somebody tweeted at Liv and said, "You got to give him sauces, the other kind, because those looked dry." She responds back, "Never dry." I'm like, oh.
Mm.
You know, everybody's talking about mommy. I'm sorry, man. I may have to take Liv. I'm sorry, man. Stuff she's doing.
I was waiting for Mr. Beefy's comment. That's why it's been quiet for a little while.
I think Mr. Beefy's like got, you know, Liv straddling Dom on loop. He's got his picture on Dom's face. Like,
I know,
you know.
It's got my attention, that's for sure. Easy one.
We all want that one.
But you're right, Joe. It Rhea Ripley's had that spotlight for so long, but Liv is she's moved in and she might have taken that away from mommy for the time being.
Can't be burnt out. The story is just starting.
Yeah. Buckle up, buddy.
Yeah.
It's a long way to go.
Talking about her looks, Pods. I mean, what are you burnt out on? Come on, man. I don't care about her laugh. She can straddle me and laugh so all night.
You've got a mute button. Just push that if it's bothering you that much.
Or get yourself some noise canceling headphones.
Yeah. Dude, Carlito is cracking me up in the Judgment.
These jokes, man. These jokes.
Look past the promos.
Give it time.
Yeah. Like anything. Like, don't rush it. Don't rush it. Sit back, watch the show, enjoy.
Exactly. We got so much more to see.
Joe, Juan's challenging you.
It's about to be a three-way fight because I get past Mr. Beefy.
You got to watch out for Beefy. He's a little slippery right now.
Yeah, man. His hands are full.
He's going to grab you. You're going to slip right through his fingers. There you go.
Oh, dude.
That was a couple minutes ago. So, but other than that, guys,
announcements. We won't be here next week.
No.
So we'll see you in 2 weeks for the 100th episode of PTM.
It's going to be a big one.
100.
We may have some special guests. We may not. I don't know. But it's going to be a show. It'll probably be back closer to the regular time. because we might need to be later because of some of the stuff that may go down.
Absolutely. But
Did you just WCW book her?
Wow.
Oh, tell me you did not just type that.
he did. He did.
It's going to be... Judgment Day is going to be torn between Liv and Rhea.
Well, Judgment Day could potentially be using Damian Priest.
Seems like a very real possibility. Because I don't know how much longer they're going to keep him as champ. He's not captivating the audience the way.
So whoever wins that match is going to be fed to Gunther.
Yeah. But see, if Priest loses by disqualification or countout, does that mean he's still out of the Judgment Day?
Still lost a match.
That's right. They didn't say by pinfall or submission, right?
Yeah.
And then I think the only other thing on the agenda tonight was Dijak leaving tomorrow.
Who?
Oh, he had a good match in NXT. Where does he show up, Jones?
I've seen on the internet some funny shit. Basically, people says, "What if he signs up on TNA and then ends up back on NXT because of this partnership deal?"
Right. See, you can see the Hardys back in NXT.
I honestly would rather him bet on himself and go to Japan.
I think he'd do really well there.
Because AEW already doesn't know how to use bigger guys. So look at how badly they
Yeah,
dropped the ball with.
Where is Keith Lee? Where is he?
Where's Lance Archer?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, losing Dijak is not going to hurt them.
I'm not saying it's not going to hurt them. It just doesn't make sense considering the quality of the matches he's been producing for them.
I think you should have just kept him as Dominic Dijakovic when he was originally in NXT. You know, when he had the feud with Keith Lee over the NXT North American. Keep changing up his gimmick, but I mean, he's also older.
He's 40. He's not a spring chicken. However, he's still a good, solid hand you could have on your roster.
Yeah.
Like, he's better than a few people that are still.
They're going in a lot of youth movement with NXT.
I'm not like he could have been used on SmackDown or Raw.
Was he not called up?
He was called up only for him to not do his contract.
Yeah.
So
when I was at Raw in December, when Punk signed to Raw, the dark match was Von Wagner versus somebody else. I forget who it was.
Oh, yeah, the guy.
Von Wagner got no reaction at all. And he's trying to get the crowd going. They're like, yeah, not happening. Buddy.
he's gone.
Yep. Almost wanted to chant Beverly Brother, Beverly Brother.
And speaking of fathers, I'm glad Christian Cage is not in WWE right now.
Yeah.
Because a certain Roman Reigns may try to kill him. Pat McAfee may try to kill him as well.
Absolutely. With Roman's father passing recently, he took to Twitter and he wrote a nice response. And I'm not sure if you guys saw, the next day he visited a children's hospital.
Yeah, it was like that was the most selfless thing ever. When in the time he should be grieving, it was like, I'm gonna make sure these kids smile.
Yeah, I think that shows just the kind of person that Roman is. Forget the characters that we see on TV. Him as a human being, as a person. Like you said, Jones, what a selfless act to do, especially during a time of grieving, just after losing a parent.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he had a long life, but still, to my knowledge, he wasn't sick.
No.
But I'm not privy to everything.
No, he was 79.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, even if a person lives to their elderly years, right? They live into their 70s or their 80s or onward. Losing a parent is never easy at any stage. And so, for anyone who has gone through something like that, knows the kind of pain that Roman's likely going through right now. Regardless of the age, regardless if the person's sick or if it happens suddenly, losing a parent is one of the most difficult things any one of us will ever go through in our life. And so, with that in mind, just take a moment to, pray for anybody who has lost a loved one recently, or if you've gone through something. I know our good friend Nico recently lost his mom. And so my heart goes out to Nico and his family, and to anybody who is going through a very difficult time right now, and is grieving. Especially the people that, watch our show weekly or we talk to on a daily basis. I know the two of you guys, we talk pretty much daily. And for anybody who is kind of part of our smaller circle or our greater circle, the nice part about this community, about this podcast, about how we all met, it's that it's so much more than just the post that we see or this podcast even. It goes beyond, the three kind of talking heads you see on the screen right now. It's about the relationships and the connections that we build with one another. So we're here for Nico, and we are here for really anyone who needs a listening ear. Can slide into any one of our DMs. We're here for you guys, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you watching our show every single week, and for tuning in to listen to three guys just shoot the shit about wrestling and everything else that's going on in that crazy world.
So just make sure to give people their flowers while they can enjoy them. Don't say, "Dag, I wish I could have."
I'll say this: it's easy to respect the dead.
Yeah,
respect someone and be there for them when they're alive, when you have the time.
Agreed.
And on that note, we don't want to end it, kind of a more somber tune. But boys, as always, it's a pleasure to share the screen with you, to shoot the shit, talk wrestling, laugh, banter, everything else that goes along and happens every Thursday. But now is the time to change the channel and watch a very important debate. But Steiner has 141 and 2/3 chance of winning, not just tonight, but the election later this year.
he has my vote.
He has mine as well.
Big bad booty daddy.
Boys,
With his running mate, little Petey Pump.
any final words of wisdom, Joe Jones?
New segment coming soon. We're going to have some missing persons reports going on.
Yeah. Vinny might be the first one on the milk carton, because you're right, Joe. Where is Vinny? I don't know. But Joe,
family knows.
Yeah. Tomorrow, Joe, something going on?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Don't know.
You made a post about it.
My life was threatened if I didn't post that.
Damn. Oh, okay.
Shit.
That just went dark.
We're trying to, gather together, and then you. The hell is going on?
Blink twice if you need help.
Yeah, like Joe, do we gotta? Oh, that was once.
Sorry, Mr. Beefy. I am not trading that SummerSlam ticket for that belt because that SummerSlam ticket is my one way to meet Jones.
It's not the one way I was coming, whether or not I was.
Whatever. It's my one way to sit next to Jones.
Okay, fair.
Well, at this point, it's only Jones. It's really nobody else. So
And Marabito.
and Mary, yeah. Sorry, we can't forget.
And I
about
guess my son. You know.
Yeah, I guess.
He's giving me a
that.
look.
He's listening.
He's like, hey, I live with you.
Yeah. Just giving me a look. Tomorrow night is the return of Summer Nights. 10:05 Eastern. I have no idea what will be talked about, but tune in.
That's one of them shows where any and everything can happen.
Yeah, Summer Nights is like off limits.
Well,
Bay
enjoy,
Bay.
have fun, and enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody. And thanks for watching Pounding the Meat. Mr. Beefy already pounded his meat, but it's time that we go and pound ours. So, good night, and thank you for watching.